I have one half of the team you knew as Bad Company and the Orient Express, Pat Tanaka, with me. He's going to be doing an appearance for 80s Wrestling Con's Virtual Mania this weekend. Pat, how you doing today?
Guys, I am just delighted to be here, man. It's great to hear from you guys, and I can't wait, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Very exciting weekend coming up. As I said, you are known to WWF fans as being in the Orient Express, but you got your start with Paul as Bad Company, the CWA, the AWA. Just can you talk a little bit about how you guys linked up and what you kind of took a liking to with teaming with him in the early days in the CWA and then later the AWA?
Of course, yeah. It was different because when I started over there, I was really young, just starting out. I had only been in one other territory, and right before that, I just came out of the dojo from New Japan, and then I went to the Carolinas to go work for the Crockett's there for NWA, and then after a year, I went to Tennessee. Jerry Jarrett hired me up there, and man, what a place it was. I tell you what, it was awesome. That place is the place to learn how to wrestle. No doubt about it. You got everybody and anybody coming through there. So you learn a lot. And I was teaming up with Jerry Jarrett's kid, Jeff Jarrett. He was my partner for a while. And what a great partner he was, too. I mean, he was awesome. So definitely I was lucky, But I think the thing was that got me with Paul was we tagged a couple times, and I mean, our timing was together, and I just thought, man, wow, he was, probably the best partner for me because, myself, man, I'm small, I'm not a big guy, and so I needed someone a lot bigger, look better, So Paul was definitely it, Paul was ripped to shreds and huge, and here I was, 5'8", about 180 pounds, and and no body whatsoever. So it was challenging for me. So I got Paul in there, and then when we started working together, our timing started getting really good together. And I asked Paul, I said, man, I said, I think I got a great name. And I said, it's my favorite song in the world. And I said, I think it's perfect for us, man. And he goes, what is it? It's Bad Company. And he loved it. So, that's what we did, man. We became Bad Company. And I tell you what, we had a great run with it. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the strong muscle man, and here I was, martial arts and, trying to be fast, but, I don't know if I was, but tried my hardest. And, I tell you what, it was just that he was perfect for me. So I just really enjoyed being his partner.
Yeah. And, it's kind of crazy to think back. Like one thing you guys have the link is you both teamed with Jeff to win the titles, but just looking at some of the talent that came out of there, you worked with the Bushwhackers when they were still the Sheep Herders. I believe you worked with the Rockers. I think, they were still the Midnight Rockers, but did that help any of your later work? Like, especially as the Orient Express, when, you go a few years in between without working these guys, and you started working as Bad Company, but then, you're working as the Orient Express. Like, did you really have to change anything up, or was it almost like a situation with muscle memory where you know how these guys work and you know what's coming next, so it made it easier for your WWF run?
we didn't just work with, a tag team that was uh, easy or anything. It was more like, if you enjoy being out there with them, you were going to have a great match. And if you didn't enjoy it, you weren't going to have a great match. But it seemed like every time we worked with Marty and Sean, we loved it. We loved the Sheepherders. I thought they were awesome. And I mean, pretty much everybody we worked with down the line was awesome. But the only thing that was the difference was our timing and size difference, And we had to change up a lot, because if you think about it, the people that we work with were huge. Some of them, really big, like, road warriors and things like that, and working with them it's not easy because of the size difference and making the people believe, that we had a chance. I don't know if you've seen our matches with them or anything, but, it was just that, we did. I mean, we worked with them. We had a great time, and I think that we made the people believe that we had a chance. Even though it was slim and small, they did believe it and they popped for us, and so I think we did what we were supposed to do.
I'll say that's one of my favorite things in wrestling, or my favorite things in sports that I wish would translate to wrestling is I would like to see more talent with parity, where they talk about, I'll use the NFL as an example. They say on any given Sunday, any team can win. And I want to see that in wrestling because it's true.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But one thing I did want to note is that after you worked with Paul as Bad Company, you signed with the WWF separately, and you started as the Orient Express, but with a different partner. So eventually Paul showed up, but what was the dynamic like there? Because you go from working with him as Bad Company, you get placed in this new team that has a completely different gimmick, a different dynamic, and then Sato leaves and you get placed back with Paul. So what was that like for you, being on, really 3 different styles of wrestling consecutively? Like, how was that learning to adapt to it?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, honestly, I love Sato because we worked with them in Tennessee and had a great time, and it was just awesome, And then when I became his partner, I partnered with him against Paul, if you remember correctly, when we split. It was him and Del Wilkes, the Patriot, against us, and it went so good, In fact, Sato really liked, being my partner and everything. So that's pretty much how we became, Orient Express. And then, Sato wanted to go in the office. So he said, sorry, Pat. He goes, I really, I really want to go in the office. I said, I understand completely, man. And I thought my job was over. I thought it was, time to go and everything. And Vince had came up to me and asked me, hey, do you mind if we put you with this guy and, you guys will stay as the Orient Express of this? And I just took a big chance. I said, hey, you know what? Paul's not working right now. Can we call him and see if, and I called him and he goes, oh my God, yeah, man. So they flew him that night to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And we worked with the Rockers. And man, I mean, Vince goes, hell yeah, let's do it. So, because I mean, the Rockers, I mean, you can't get better than them, They are like one of the, like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, greatest workers I've ever seen. The timing's there. They're just on spot with everything. So it was awesome.
Now, you just brought up, you kind of pitched bringing Paul in to be your teammate, but what about the gimmick itself? Like, how was that pitched? Like, can you talk about how Mr. Fuji got involved, or if you can remember your initial thoughts on the gimmick itself?
Well, I mean, me, I was, I think I was just happy that I got a job, I mean, because, as you know yourself, I mean, it's probably your chances of getting a job with WWE are probably like hitting the lottery,
Mm-hmm.
It is that hard. If you're a pro wrestler and you know what I'm saying, because going to WWE is like going to the world, the Yankees, working for them. I mean, it's just different. You're with the top league. Everything's gonna be first class, everything. So it's very different. So I mean, I mean, to me, I was just like, great, man. Hey, call me China Boy. I don't care. Whatever they wanted to call me, I was ready. But it came out with the Orient Express, and I really enjoyed it. With Sato, and then Paul came along, and then we really had good matches, and I had no complaints with either partner. And the reason that they put Fuji with us is because I probably am the worst ever at doing an interview. I mean, there's no doubt. It's like take 175. And I still couldn't get it right. It was just something I never do. And that's you know that's why they put Fuji with it, because they knew I couldn't do an interview to save my life. So
I'd say this one's going pretty well. I'm enjoying talking to you. Again, I want to mention that you can catch Pat this weekend, 80s Wrestling Con, Virtual Mania. You could get some stuff signed from Bad Company, Orient Express. It's going to be a lot of fun. You could get a shout out too. I wanted to mention that really quick. But turning the conversation back to Mr. Fuji, do you have any? He was very well known for ribbing people. Do you have any favorite ribs that he maybe played on you or you were witness to?
yeah, I mean there was a few. He definitely got a few people. There's no doubt about it. And the ribs that I see him do, I don't think I really want to tell those on live radio.
Oh, you're not live.
Oh well, okay.
No, you're not live.
I don't know if I really want to tell this story, but I mean, Fuji was different. I mean, a lot of people had different opinions. But to me, I mean, he was just, we were fine. We had great relationship and everything, but he did some pretty crazy things, I have to say, man, and things don't shock me very much,
Mm-hmm.
And he fucking shocked the shit out of me, I mean, I've seen some heavy ribs, man. I mean, I've seen it all, man, and my God, that man, one sick individual,
I believe it. I talked to Paul earlier, and he was nice enough to share the time that Mr. Fuji pissed in somebody's beer. So
yeah, it was one of the Japanese photographers. In fact, I don't know if he told you that. And oh God, I couldn't believe he did it. I was like, oh my Lord, brother.
Yeah, that's that one definitely took me back. I wasn't expecting it.
And the guy drank it, and I almost fell off my chair, man. I was just about to say, oh, he ain't gonna be stupid enough to drink anything that's been left on this table. Sure enough, that guy's a big gulp of it. I go, you kidding me? I looked at him like he was stupid. I go, what are you doing? And he didn't know what I was talking about. I go, "Are you kidding me? You're sitting at a table with food and you drink something?" And my God, you're just waiting to get ribbed.
So I wanted to ask, in closing, I usually it started as a pandemic playlist. I call it the watch list. But are there any matches that you would recommend to people, whether it's As Bad Company or Orient Express, that you really think best represent your work as a wrestler, whether it was with either team or either partner, just one that you always think of and look back on and say, you know what, I really hope people see that, I gave it my all. This was my best effort as a wrestler.
Well, yeah, I think probably the most memorable one was, I'm sure you know what I'm going to say, because pretty much that's what we're known for, is Royal Rumble '91. That match was supposed to be 3 minutes. And that's what they told us, that we were going to do. And we said, wow, right on, we go party, everything like that. As we were walking out, they said, guys, let loose, do whatever you like. We've never heard those words before. Mm-hmm. Usually it's don't do this, don't do that, And they said, you guys go tear it up. And they said, you got 30 minutes. And we go, what? We're going, wait a minute. We only had 3 minutes was the first thing he said. And then they said, no, we need 30. And went out there and called it out there and had just a really great match. I thought it was really, really, it was, the reason I knew it was good is because we had great time out there. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. When you, it's different when you wrestle and you have a great time out there and you're laughing, you're having just a great time. It's a great match, Mm-hmm. It's funny that way, a lot of people were looking at me like, what are you talking about? I had a great time, It was awesome,
And
best time ever.
You've been very complimentary throughout this about working with Sean and Marty. It seems like those were one of your favorite opponents, so I could see why that match holds, some significance to you. Again, if you guys want to check out the Orient Express, Pat and Paul Diamond are going to be appearing 80s Wrestling Con Virtual Mania this weekend. Check it out on the 80swrestlingcon.com, the website. And Pat, thanks very much for your time today.
Hey man, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having me on the air today again. And I look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. And guys, thanks for always supporting me out there. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you all